Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Thursday the 15th of September. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. Firstly, we'll start by taking a look at the mean surface temperatures across Europe, and overall there is once again generally little change compared with previous days, and the majority of the available forecast models maintain temperatures to be very near to climate averages between days 11 and 15, with the majority of the countries and forecast models signalling temperatures to be within 1 or 2 degrees of climate norms. Between days 6 and 10, overall model agreement and consistency maintains itself today, and the majority of the available forecast models continue to signal temperatures very near to climate averages and generally ranging only 1 or 2 degrees either above or slightly below. And finally, within the next 2 to 5 days, model agreement and consistency remains good. As a result, confidence levels are high for temperatures to be generally trending 1 to 3 degrees above climate norms across the majority of Europe. And now taking a look at the expected temperatures across the United Kingdom in some closer detail. And overall, there has generally been no significant changes from previous days, and between days 11 and 15 as we move towards and beyond the weekend of the 24th and the 25th of September, all, if not the majority of the available forecast models signal temperatures very near to a climate mean of around 13 or 14 degrees Celsius. This signal has been evident for a good number of days. As a result, confidence levels are medium or medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be very near to climate norms. Once again, between days 6 and 10 there is also very little change compared with previous days, as temperatures are forecast to remain very near to climate averages or perhaps just trending slightly above, but only by around 1 degree Celsius, in what is forecast to be a very quiet and quite benign spell of weather across the UK. Confidence levels are medium to high, given good model agreement and consistency from previous days for temperatures to be very near to climate norms. And finally, over the next 2 to 5 days, as with previous days, confidence levels are high for temperatures to be either near or perhaps just trending slightly below climate averages, but only by 1 degree Celsius as we move towards the weekend of the 17th and 18th of September. It should also be noted that given good model agreement and consistency, there is very little signal for any extremes of temperatures across the United Kingdom throughout the next 7 to 14 days at least. Now taking a look at the expected European temperatures in some closer detail. And again, there has overall been no significant changes from previous days, and the majority of the available forecast models maintain temperatures very near to climate averages between days 11 and 15, though perhaps just trending slightly above, but only by perhaps 1 or 2 degrees across some central and also eastern areas of Europe, including France, Benelux and Germany, for example. The latest Benelux model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation between days 11 and 15, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle, there is generally good, if not very good, model agreement with regards to temperatures being very near to a climate mean of around 14 or 15 degrees Celsius, with very little model outliers. Confidence levels are, as a result, medium to high to suggest that between days 11 and 15 the majority of Europe is likely to have temperatures very near to climate norms. Overall, there continues to be very little change compared with previous days with regards to days 6 to 10 across the majority of Europe, and that is for most areas to have temperatures once again very near to climate averages, though perhaps just trending slightly above across some central and western areas of Europe, including France and Spain, for example. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate the situation with regards to the 6 to 10 day period, and as you can see, the majority of the available forecast models, including my specific forecast model, as represented by the solid red line, indicates that temperatures between days 6 and 10 are likely to be trending slightly above climate averages, but only by 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. There continues to be very good model agreement and consistency for no extremes of temperatures across the majority of Europe between days 6 and 10. And finally, between days 2 and 5, confidence levels are high given good model agreement and consistency for temperatures to be generally trending 1 to 3 degrees above climate averages across many central and southern areas of Europe, including Iberia, France, Switzerland and Italy, for example, yet some central and northern regions of Europe, including Benelux and the United Kingdom, may have temperatures very near to climate norms and perhaps just trending slightly above by 1 degree Celsius. And finally, it is worth to highlight that once again the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models maintain a trend that there is likely to be no extremes of temperatures across the majority of Europe within the next 7 to 14 days at least. And now taking a look at the expected precipitation totals across Scandinavia. And the general trend from previous days continues today, and that is particularly over the next 7 to 10 days. The majority of Scandinavia is likely to have precipitation totals near or trending above climate averages, especially across central and southern regions of Norway and also Sweden, where precipitation totals in excess of 65 to 80 millimetres is forecast. Within the long term, as we move towards the end of September, somewhat drier than average conditions may well develop across some central and eastern areas of Sweden, whilst overall precipitation totals across other areas of Scandinavia are likely to remain either near or trending above climate averages. We're now taking a look at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And there is a continued signal and trend today for many western areas of the United States to have temperatures trending at least 4 to 8 degrees Fahrenheit above climate norms, whilst in contrast many central and eastern areas of the country are likely to have temperatures trending at least 4 to 8 degrees below in what is likely to be a particularly cool period of weather across eastern areas of the country within the next 7 to 10 days. Also, with the exception of some far southern areas of Australia, the majority of the country, particularly over the next 7 to 10 days, is likely to experience little or no measurable rainfall at all, with most areas experiencing less than 25% of normal totals in what is forecast to be particularly dry 7 to 10, if not 14 days of weather. And finally, it is worth to highlight that La Nina has officially returned. Mean surface temperatures across eastern areas of the tropical Pacific within the next 2 or 3 months are forecast to be 1 or 2 degrees below climate averages, which as a result signals a specific La Nina event, and as a result extremes of temperature and precipitation are forecast across some areas of the world over the next 3 to 6 months. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.